letting people in.
Yeah, I think I'm letting people in. So this is, I think, series 5 of our stock talk segment here. So we've been switching off. We've been doing. I think we've covered retail. We've covered travel. Just COVID hot stocks. Obviously, we started talking about relevant stocks right now. Relative to the industry. But then, if you guys have any other stocks that you guys want to bring up, just some personal plays, feel free to give your input. If you guys have any other questions about trading platforms, I understand not everybody is a experienced stock veteran, but we asked, ask your questions. Feel free to engage with the group. That's what we're here for. So definitely, chime in if you have any questions. Don't be shy. We're, everybody's at different levels here. So I will start off the talk, right? I will start with my stock pick in the cannabis industry. So one of the stocks I've been looking into, I did some research, was Grow Generation. I don't know if you guys have heard of Grow Generation. They're a big
So what's the name?
Dispensary. I'm sorry, what's that?
So it says it's Pro Generation?
No, Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, I think.
Yeah, and the ticker is, I want to say it's G. I'm pulling it up right now, so excuse me. It's GRWG, Grow Generation.
GRWG.
I like the stock. So, yeah, GRWG. So
is it on
they've
Robin
been trading. I'm sorry, what's that?
Sorry, is it on Robinhood?
Yeah, it's on Robinhood.
Thank you.
Grow Generation, GRWG. It's at about $6.58 right now. It had a 52-week high of $7.82. It's had a 52-week low of $2.62. So generally, I like to look at any stock that's, climbing, or, especially nowadays, if it's not at the 52-week high, that's a big trigger for me. So that usually signals that it has room to grow again. They're big in the retail of hydroponics. So for you guys that may or may not know, the hydroponics is basically what goes into growing, your cannabis products, lighting, shade, seeds, nutrients, all those things. So they're one of the largest, most established hydroponics companies. So Grow Generation is a good one. It's only $6. So definitely an opportunity there to grow. Get it? Grow Generation can grow. My dad jokes are prime, y'all. Sorry, my dad jokes are hot right now. So does anybody else, anybody else want to jump in with their stock pick? I'm gonna throw it to Jay since he's right next to me, and then I'll let anybody else chime in. So what you got for us, Jay?
Yeah, thanks, B. Yeah, so the one I've been investing in, pretty much I know people probably heard of, called Canopy Growth Company, CGC, and they're the largest cannabis player in Canada right now. They've been at it for a long time. I know right now they closed at $15.91 a share. But a couple weeks ago, they were trading at like $20. And then obviously when the whole COVID-19 went down, they were trading at $10. So that was back in March. But the reason why I like them is because they have a really strong position as far as obviously, leading the charge in the cannabis industry in Canada. Since, right now the U.S. is still kind of, we're still waiting for regulation to get passed as far as, having cannabis being used for, food, drinks, it's like a commodity. So right now they're just positioning themselves to just focus on Canada. And not only that, but, they're looking into like drinks. you know, so like beverages like chocolate and stuff like that. But yeah, I really do like them. I've been following them for a long time. They were actually one of the first companies I looked into when I first started trading, just like back in 2016. And that was like right before Canada legalized, you know, cannabis, which was back in 2018. So yeah, I think they're a really great stock. If anybody's been following like Canadian stocks, I say that's my top pick. So.
I had a question about them. I see their stock has been going down since May of last year. What happened for, if you know anything about what happened then? To make it, they were almost at
A
50 bucks
couple of
almost.
things. They were trading really high. They were almost at almost $50 this time around last year. A couple of things happened. You know, they weren't opening enough stores, enough retail stores. I mean, the demand is high, but there's not enough people, you know, to be able to, as far as buy it from. You know what I mean? Like just going to the store to buy it. So they're limited on retail. The other part is their pricing. So when we're thinking about like buying things, you know, they're thinking about like premium prices, right? So, you know, with the black market, which is still around, the black market took a lot of the shares. So people don't want to pay, you know, top dollar just to get, you know, just get some cannabis on the side. So those were like the two major factors. And then obviously, you know, they've been losing a lot of money because they haven't been able to grow. And one of the biggest markets is obviously, you know, the United States. So that's been like kind of a couple reasons why their stock has dropped so much drastically since last year. But again, I really believe that they're on pace to you know, just to be right back up to $50 a share. And that's why like I'm holding on to them for now until at least it gets to like $30 or if not more. But yeah, those are some of the reasons why they took a big hit.
Okay. All right. Chancellor, do you have any, hey, I'm gonna pick on you. I know you talked about the industry. So tell me what you're looking at, what play you're looking at in the cannabis industry.
Oh, there we go. Couldn't find my unmute button. Right now, I don't want to pick a winner or loser right now because I'm young.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of fallout. So I'm playing around a little bit with, like I said, MJNA because it's a penny stock, and I don't like to gamble, and I'm willing to throw away a few pennies at it. A few, you know, a couple $100 here and there. But to me, where you make your money is on having a large number of shares. So, you know, I'm 50,000 shares into MJNA, full disclosure.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it's today's close was 0.0183, so it's less than 2 cents a share. So to me, that's not, you know, you can play around with that. And if it's a winner, I mean, if it goes up to $1, I'll be doing classes somewhere on my yacht. You know, I'll be like trading places, right?
So, excuse me, you said it's called MGNA?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's been it's pretty volatile. It's been moving with the market, but I still like so I'm big into THCX and MJ, the two ETFs, because they're both paying dividends, and I like to capture some of the market growth, so I don't have to worry about trying to call individual stock winners. This gray hair means I don't have that much time to play around with high risk. But I recommend younger guys, yeah, ladies included, that definitely y'all do it. You read up on it, see which ones that are attractive, and jump on them because you'll probably win long term.
There you go.
And it's another thing. It's a long-term play, betting the government is going to legalize cannabis at the federal level.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. You know, obviously playing the long game and, you know, looking at the politics and understanding policies. Obviously, if we have another president in here, that could change the legalization. I think I even read. I don't know if anybody can confirm this, that in some of the PPP legislation, there was actually some leniency, or there was some favorable policies towards cannabis. I don't know the exact details. I remember just kind of skimping over that, but I think there was something where I guess, and financially, maybe the banks can start to deal a little bit more. So that can definitely, you know, affect the market there. And then also, I was reading about in New York. Did you guys hear in New York, Governor Cuomo? He talked about you know, wanting to use the funds and the value of cannabis and the tax dollars, how they can use that to help, basically help them recover their economy there in New York from tax dollars. So I think when we talk about financials, we see what's going on in Colorado, all the tax money they've brought in. You know, coming out of this COVID situation, and I think that's something that we have no choice but to kind of look at a little bit more on a federal level, which I think would open up the floodgates.
Should just start an op-ed saying that it's a cure for COVID.
Yeah, I mean, real quick though, you know, we came out of the Great Depression before World War II, and we came out of the Great Depression because we ended prohibition and we began taxing alcohol again at a massive level. And that is what broke us out of the Great Depression, was bringing in those tax dollars. So doing the same thing with cannabis, to me, makes perfect sense.
My bad, I was on mute. I was talking, I was all on mute. So I see we have Hamilton, Pensamento. You have a question. What platform do you guys advise to get started with? Anybody want to tackle that? I don't have to talk the whole time. Kev, you off of mute? You got something to say over there, Kev?
I mean, I liked Robinhood that was mentioned earlier. That's a good one.
Robinhood and Webull is good because Robinhood has a lot of glitches.
There we go, ladies. There we go.
Webull is really good. It has a lot of information, and for me, I've found it easier to navigate as I'm still learning and I'm kind of new. So it has a lot of information and it's easy to view where I feel like it's very knowledgeable. And they got 3 free stocks per person you invite right now. So jump on it.
Oh, you better put your Webull code in the chat real quick there. Look, right? See, somebody trying to get invited right now. I'm about to sign up and send the code.
Is that Jasmine from Afro Diego?
Is that you?
Sorry,
Jasmine?
I was muted. Yeah, this is me.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in a group called Afro Diego. I invited 2 people. One has my name, Emeka A. I'm Emeka N, and the other person is Jasmine. Okay. So I put that. I hope NSBE didn't mind. I put that link out on the Afro Diego, and a few people joined.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all we family first. NSBE second, right? Yeah, we want to help everybody grow and learn. Yeah, I say Robinhood. I think Robinhood's a good one. I think as well, if you're starting off, they also offer like a free stock if you get referred there. I hear, you know, frustration from a lot of like day traders. If you're more of an active trader, Robinhood can be kind of frustrating. Rylan, didn't you have some issues with Robinhood?
Absolutely. I think I probably missed out on a few $100s because it takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes for it to register the numbers in the morning. And so, you know, when the market opens, you know, if you're prepared to sell, you're prepared to sell right then and there as soon as the market opens. And so I constantly, in the community that I'm a part of, we constantly deal with Robinhood and its glitches. And I have actually thought about going to either Ally or Webull because I have two different brokerages. I don't just play on one. But yeah, I definitely have glitches with Robinhood. But it is really good for learning purposes because if they make it very easy. If you do options, they have the break even and the stats is very, very easy to read. But I heard that Webull is probably the better format.
Yeah.
Does Webull let you do partial stocks as well? I know Robinhood and letting you starting to do partial stocks. Well,
I don't think it started yet, but I do believe that they're adding it.
Yeah, that's
About the
close to it. Yeah.
How do you spell Webull? I've never heard of that one, except for here.
Webull, just like that. W-H-E.
Yeah, all one word.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my code in there for you guys.
As you
Get
should,
them stock,
as you
girl.
should.
Oh.
I believe so, right? And just like that, I put in the chat.
Yes.
If not, then shoot me down. Shoot me down. So yeah, I would say, Webull's good. Once again, I think if you're just starting out, I think Robinhood's a good place to start. It's simple to use. I mean, if you're not like a day trader starting off and you just want to buy a couple of stocks and you're not worried about setting your limit price, and those things are important as you become more knowledgeable, especially on options. You want to try and get the best price. You want to try and catch the market, or like Rylan was talking about early on. So, Webull's good. Thinkorswim is another one. That's by TD Ameritrade. Thinkorswim. They have a lot of good resources there. I know people that are into charting. If you're into looking at the charts and charting, I think Thinkorswim has a really good interface for that. It gives you a lot of trigger points that you can set for like a stock that you're watching. So when it hits that point, it can trigger a buy or alert you. Those are like the three main ones I know of. I know Jaden, you use like E-Trade. I want to say, right? You said you use E-Trade.
I use E-Trade and Fidelity as well as Thinkorswim and Robinhood.
Now, Kevin, what do you think about E-Trade compared to Fidelity?
Well, for some strange reason, Fidelity don't quite allow me to mess with IPOs, but E-Trade, I could set stops and everything else, limits, everything. And I love that because, some disclosure here. I was the one, I was one of the people that bought Groupon at 62 cents. Now it's over $20.
Wow.
Yeah. And like the other gentleman said, when you buy a lot of it, and 62 cents wasn't much to me. So I bought upwards of maybe 700 shares. So, it was just a faster platform to me for E-Trade, way faster, because it did it immediately when I asked for the buy, and then I could just set alerts to let me know at which points a particular stock hits. I mean, nostalgia, I still have Qualcomm stock, but I've had that stock since it was like $40-something, and now it's close to $80-90. That kind of thing. And like near the beginning of COVID-19, I figure, so I have this mentality when I go buy stocks is, I think about the movie, well, what's the movie? Oh, Inside Man, the one by Spike Lee, the one that Spike Lee did. And one of the actors said, when there's blood on the streets, buy property. So I figured, hey, there's a pandemic on. Let me buy some stock in people who are making the vaccines. So I did Inovio, which at the time was like $5. Now it's over $13. That kind of thing. So that and yeah, it is longevity because it took about 2.5 months to get up there because it literally hovered around $5. So I know we're talking about cannabis tonight, but that's just some of the things how I think about it. I looked at some cannabis stocks too. And I kind of think, with Canopy, I kind of saw that was on my eye last year, and they took a big hit mainly because the federal government didn't, I guess they led them on that they were going to legalize it and they didn't. So people kind of lost confidence in that, which is why one of the reasons why their stock kind of plummeted as well, because they were going to come to the US full time. But, I guess, the current administration is playing, like an Indian giver or something like that. But that's just my things on, my take on E-Trade versus Fidelity. Fidelity's okay, but it's just slower and it doesn't allow me to do certain things as far as IPOs. I look at IPOs a lot because I still kick myself in the butt for not taking out a loan like I told myself I would to buy Google stock when they went IPO at $85 a share, and I slept on it. So, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that's crazy.
Me too. Me too.
I still kick myself in the butt. So I try not to. I look and I try not to sleep on big IPOs.
Yeah, definitely a big one that just came out. Nikola, I'm sure all you guys have been tracking. Heard about Nikola. That was a big IPO that just popped. They're the next Tesla, I guess, another type of Tesla. Short story. They have an electric truck. The owner's kind of eccentric, like Elon Musk, but they're an interesting company. I think they came out of the gate at like $40. And jumped up to like the $70 range. So that's another company. Talk about IPOs. Vroom is another one that just came out. That's, I believe they have some backing by Bill Gates's investment group. So those are some two. We talk about IPOs. So that's a good way to try and jump in, and especially the way the money's moving and speculation is going. You can jump in and double up pretty quickly if you catch the right IPO. So
what do you think differentiates Vroom from like a Carvana or something? Because they seem very similar to me in self-transfer.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just still watching. I go into it knowing that I can maybe catch a $10 swing or something. Me personally. So I don't look too much into the culture yet and all that. I just kind of say, well, if it started at 20 and they jumped to 40, I just feel like it can go back to 40. So I'll play it, and maybe have a buy set in the $30 range and then sell again when it goes to 40. Right now it's just a lot of speculation really, and just trying to catch these little wins and these waves. For me personally. See, I see somebody talking about they sold Nikola. See, look, I see you, Renee, coming up in there. I see you, Twan. So Grady, you on the call? You still over there, G? You want to talk about your cannabis stock? Or did we lose him? I think he might be iPhone. Until he chimes in, Rylan, I'll call on you.
Yo,
you told me about okay. Heard you move quick, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all hit it yet, but the thing that's gonna move the needle on the cannabis stocks is is when they allow banking. That's why I don't know if y'all talked about when they launched in Canada and how everybody was banking on the Canadians legalizing marijuana, and then when that day came, the stocks just stayed the same, like it didn't even move. But I was doing some research and I found out that they legalized the banking before they legalized the actual product. And that's kind of like what's happening now. Did y'all talk about that? Nobody?
No.
Yeah. But okay, so they got the Safe Banking Act that's it's already passed through the House of Representatives. Now it's sitting over with the Senate, but they wrapped it up into that COVID relief package. Y'all talked about that, right?
I did mention that. I was reading something that they put some. What was it again? What did they do with enroll in there?
So it's called the Safe Banking Act, and the Safe Banking Act is going to follow the same play that Canada did. They're going to actually legalize banking first, which basically lets in Wall Street before they actually legalize the product. Long as they can be exempt from any sort of liability, punitive liability, whatever, they're safe to invest. But there is a twist with this Safe Banking Act. While they are allowing so-called cannabis companies to have access to the banking industry, I think that was some language in there that still prevented Wall Street investors or what we call institutional money from investing into the cannabis stocks. But it could allow a lot of cannabis companies to uplist to NASDAQ. So that's what's going on with the marijuana companies. And then what's going on with the CBD companies is that hemp is legal, banking for hemp is legal, but the FDA has not classified CBD as a food or a food additive or a dietary nutritional supplement. Now they just sent some regulations over to the White House, and it's with the Office of Budget and Management, and they're set to release that document, and it's speculation that it could contain some kind of pathway for CBD to be legal, but it's speculative because they titled it CBD research, but they also put industry guidance in there. So that's kind of what I'm betting on. I'm betting on CBD, but not just CBD. I'm betting on full spectrum, because the CBD isolate might be it might not be able to fly because CBD was a drug first, and so the pharmaceutical companies might be able to block all CBD isolate, but anything that says full spectrum, like Charlotte's Web or CV Science and a few more companies out there, they might be fair game. They might actually take off. So that's my take on that.
All right. So those last two. So CV, what's the ticker for CV Science?
Oh man, I know it by heart.
CVSI.
Yeah, CVSI.
CVSI.
I did like Kevin. I took a loan out. I took a loan out.
That was a good dissertation, but okay, yeah. Look, we want to know where to put the money. Where's the money going?
Well, here's the thing. Charlotte's Web.
So
Charlotte's Web is actually the largest full spectrum CBD company out there, and the reason why their stock is always higher than CVSI or CV Science is because Charlotte's Web, they uplisted to the Canadian exchange. And so they've already went through an uplist. They were as high as $28 a share. But then they dropped, just like everything else, dropped down to about $3 a share when the FDA harpooned the industry by putting out some BS talking about CBD can damage your liver. And that just literally, I mean, it torpedoed the stock market. So they're the only CBD company to uplist, but they took the Canadian route. CV Science, they have an application to uplist to the NASDAQ, but their stock got to get back up to $4 a share. So
okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Another company is I'll talk about real quick is Organigram Holdings. They're another Canadian-based cannabis company. I think they popped up on a story of mine. Seeking Alpha is another good app I use to track stock and hold. I kind of put things in different folders and have a portfolio. I was reading about it on Robinhood. It's listed as one of the most popular stocks under $25. So I like it just from glancing at the financials, and once again, just kind of looking at the 52-week high and lows. It's been as high as I want to say $7. It's been as low as $1 in some change. Right now it's at $1 and some change. $1.81 I think was today's low. So that's another company that I'm looking at, just kind of playing the high and the low right there, just looking at it and saying, hey, it's not even in the middle of where it used to be. That may be a play as well to look into. The news on there is good. The Robinhood stats on there, it's at a 79% buy from the analysts on there. So that's another one that I'm looking at, where I bought a few shares of last week. Nothing crazy. I just bought like 10 shares at $1 or $2. So, just an easy way to get your foot, get rolling in some of these stocks. It doesn't take a big, commitment up front. So,
I got a quick question. No one's mentioned Aurora, and Aurora is a big one. Took a big hit. They're down almost 10x, but they're not really going anywhere. They're not going, they're not shutting down. So are they just on a low, waiting for a big bump up? Is this a good, you think it's a good discounted time, buying at a discount right now? Or are they just been mismanaged to the point where they're just kind of wither on the vine and die?
They're all trying to buy their way into the United States, into the hemp market, the CBD market, into the United States, and they're actually experiencing what all other hemp and CBD companies is, that the FDA has got a stranglehold on it, so they can't move any product. So their quarterly earnings are way down, quarter over quarter. It's just not the same. Now they got the skin creams and stuff like that, but the real money is going to be, for instance, who partners with Starbucks, so where you can put the CBD in your coffee inside Starbucks, and who gets the Walmart and the Target. So I mean, every CBD company is suffering, even the farming, even in hemp farming and processing. There's a advocate group called a Hemp Roundtable. Follow them on Twitter, called a Hemp Roundtable.
Yeah. So my buddy, he's into that. But the one thing about the farming, locally right now, but that's not going to last. It gets moved over to overseas, to where the labor is cheaper, and we're going to lose that portion of it. We may be able to provide equipment, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, they already expanded production into, I think, Denmark, Portugal, and some other areas, but they're still struggling, and their patent is easy to recreate, and they don't really have a strong footing. So I've made a mistake about them earlier this year, and it tanked, so I wouldn't recommend.
Well, speaking of patents, one CBD company that just came out with a patent is CV Science, and theirs is for tobacco, chewing tobacco cessation, and that's with big news for them. I forgot to mention that they're going to form a separate corporation, a C corp within their corporation, and they're going to look to partner with one of the big pharmaceutical companies to push that product, and they also get their hemp from overseas. So that is a good point.
Sister Sarah, what's going on? Welcome back.
Sorry, I'm late. Still on work calls up until 7:30.
All good. How have you been, first off? And
good.
You got a stock play for us, preferably cannabis. If not, just tell us what you've been doing and what you're looking at.
I don't have too many cannabis stocks. Aurora was the only one I bought. Bad experience. Did not want to do it again. I'm super conservative with my stocks. So one thing that I have been doing a little bit more of is some of these like high yield stocks, like TVIX and other ones that kind of like play against the market. So when you see a big spike in the market or a big drop, TIVX spikes up. So been kind of using that to balance out my portfolio a little bit, and it's been interesting.
Someone else mentioned TVIX to me as well for the opposite of the trend. Do you know why that is?
It's just, it's hard for me to understand also. It's a way they bundled the stocks, but it's kind of like an option, I think. So they're betting against the market. That's the easiest way that I understand it.
Yeah, so for everybody to know, if everything's going down, TVIX going up.
Nope.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a kind of a easy way to short the market or short the trend. So, yeah, I've been familiar with TVIX. Rylan, you still around there? You still on the line?
Yep, I'm still here.
Are you next? It's a woman power hour.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So the one I actually have I have some options, some long call options in CGC right now, but I got them when things were really good and I didn't take profit. So right now I'm kind of negative. So I'm waiting for them to upturn. So I don't know when that's going to be, but I might lose some money on there. But it is one that I have been looking at and just kind of studying. I'm trying to minimize the amount of companies that I am investing in because I have been investing like crazy with options, but I am also looking at some very personal ones for equity stocks. But what I am looking at currently is Innovative Industrial, which the ticker is IIPR. IIPR. They are actually one of the biggest real estate trusts that manages that is all the real estate for these things of such. And yesterday they just purchased well, I don't know if it was yesterday, but they just announced yesterday that they purchased some more property in Pennsylvania. I think it's like 14,000 square feet or something like that. And so that kind of lets me know that they're pretty committed to moving forward, despite that, last year they were up at 124, give or take, per share. And then in July, they had a second offering, and that dropped them like 16%. So they've been kind of going up and down from there, but they have the potential of going back. And so they've been kind of declining. So I'm waiting for them to have some type of reversal, so I can see some type of reversal before I make an entry. But they are definitely something that I am looking at as far as stock equity. I wouldn't do an option with them because they are not volatile enough for me to do options with them. But with CGC, I definitely will continue to play them. I just got to make sure that I'm exit point. But that's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay. Yeah. I like IPR. I was looking into that. I don't know how I stumbled. I was looking into the REITs, the real estate stocks, and I think I stumbled upon them. I was like, oh, that's a smart business. I know you're kind of self-educated in a way. Tell me about some of the things you've done to educate yourself on stocks and options. You're a mother, trying to hustle and all that. And we follow each other on Instagram and all that. So I always admire the hustle and what you got going on. So, tell me what you've done to educate yourself and, what you're doing to continue to push the, stocks and things.
I think for me, I didn't even start off with learning regular stocks, so just stock equity. I started learning options. And that kind of, I have a weird way of learning backwards. I like to learn with the end in mind. And so being able to learn options helped me understand, stocks a little bit better. And so I take advantage of free education. So I'm with Robinhood and TD Ameritrade. So TD Ameritrade has a really good educational selection in there. Probably by far one of the best out of a lot of the brokerages that are out there. So I've been taking advantage of that. The other thing is being a part of a community. That has helped me a lot. I'm a part of Todd Billionaire's or Millionaire, I'll say billionaire, Todd Millionaires community. And that's been really helpful because there's a lot of people that are my generation who are also doing other things, but the motivation, being able to hear terminology and play. I look up things constantly, like Google is truly my best friend. But knowing credible information, knowing how to decipher what's real and what's not is super important. But I'm really big on free education. So if I can find a free course or a very minimal book, as far as cost-effective book to learn from, then I'm all for it. But I definitely try to heed advice to those who have been there. And if they created something that's going to help me, I don't have a problem with investing that 20, 30, 40 bucks to understand their books or their system. So I really try to keep my eye out for those who are actually really successful and who are putting things out there. But yeah, my first thing is to do all free education. If I can get it for free, I'm going to figure it out.
Facts. Yeah. Google is everyone's friend right now. You talk about heeding advice. I'll tap back into you, Chancellor. You're one of our vets here in the group. What advice would you give to yourself, 20 years ago that you know now, or just anybody, right? You looking into the future where you're at. What would you give it, to an advice to some of these young, starting investors?
Well, look, if I could go back 20 years, I would have bought Tesla. I would have bought at 30.
Amazon.
I would have bought Amazon. And back when I was on, anybody know about that search engine called Lycos?
Vaguely.
Yeah. They were bigger than Google back then, back in 2000. And that's why I invested. Google had a dumb name, but yeah, that was a wrong. But I would say it's never too late to get in, and if you're gonna get in, do it with both feet. Don't put your toe in the water. Jump in with both feet. But at the same time, make sure you know how to swim. Do your learning, do your research. And never invest in anything you're not willing to walk away from. Because you never know what happens in the market. COVID-19 wiped trillions of dollars off the table. You never know, killing industries. So I would say, with big risk comes big reward, but you just gotta, meter that. I'm not as risk tolerant as I used to be. So that's why I'm more into mutual funds, ETFs, and very few stocks. But yeah, just go in and do it. Get your education in. I'll make sure that free education stuff, that's beautiful because that's how I did it. And just jump in and get it done.
Nice. Yeah, that's great advice. I think I'll summarize it by saying, obviously, invest in stocks that you feel comfortable with, that right? Because if you know the stock, if you know the product, you probably understand, where it's moving and how you're purchasing and doing things. Understand your profile, your own personal profile. Are you more risky? Obviously, not Sarah. I see Sasha's name on there. You guys are right next to each other. I know your name. Sarah and Chancellor are a little more risk adverse. I'm like gung ho. I want to throw it at all the risky stuff, all the new stuff. But I got to balance it out as well, and find a platform that fits you. So, in terms of education, are you guys anybody on any paid networks? You guys paying, any advice or any other ways that you've learned the stock game besides just Google? Or
No, like for me, in a previous lifetime, I was a diesel mechanic at Ryder, and they still have had one of the best employee stock purchase plans. And the thing is a bunch of older or elder brothers and sisters kind of pulled me aside one time and told me to invest in the stock purchase plan. When they did that, their stock purchase plan was like, okay, you can buy up to 300 shares, and with that, you only have to pay 1% of the total amount for 12 months. At the end of that 12 months, either you cash out, because it was purchased at a 15% discount. Either you cash out, they take the difference, you take the difference and kind of pay back what you owe, or you can pay it all out up front. Well, the first time I did that, the company spent off one of its business units. So I ended up, and they did a 2-for-1 split. And I found out there's different ways to do a split. But this split was a great split because I had 300 shares of rider stock, but I ended up with 600 shares of the new company. So now I had 900 shares. Rider stock was at 40. And then the new company, their stock was at like 30 something. And then they pulled me aside again. And one of the women that kind of showed me, she was the vice president of Riders Credit Union. And she kind of gave me some more schooling on how to, one, handle money, and then two, handle going into the stock market. And she passed on some of those nuggets, which I kind of keep, but then I'm kind of still conservative as well, because I don't like gambling too much with my money, especially now that I got 2 kids.
Yeah, right. I just put in the chat. So a friend of mine, actually, he subscribed to Todd Capital. I don't know if you guys have heard of that name or seen him on. He has a Slack channel where it's a community that discusses options. It's a community just like us, minorities that talking about trading. It's mainly options focused, but it's a good channel. I don't think it's too expensive, maybe like $20-30.
$20.
But it's 40.
$20 a month, $19.99 a month.
Yeah.
I'm a part of
Yes.
that.
Oh, what? When I asked who's paying, you were silent.
Sorry, I was wrestling a toddler. Leave me alone.
You betrayed me.
I did it.
Jade over here laughing. Anyway, it is a good channel though, right? I mean, it's good information. A lot of hustlers like ourselves. You're getting, on the minute information about stocks. So don't hesitate to invest in yourself and consider that as a part of your investment as well. So I'm not promoting him, but there's other channels. The Wall Street Trapper on IG. I don't know if you guys follow him. I'm subscribed to it.
I'm not in the paid channel, but my fiance's in one, and I can't remember the name of it, but the guy's name is Ty Cody, I think. It's pretty expensive. I think it was like somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 one-time buy-in. But it's also for options, and after he invested in the course, he made like $40K in like 6 months, just like learning and practicing with options. So he got really good really quick. So it's a worthwhile investment. I'm just too hard-headed to pay attention, so I didn't want to do it. But I mean, his money's mine now, so it's fine.
Oh man, tell it like it really is.
That part.
Yeah, look. I'm about to look. Y'all might have the only wedding you go to, and you might leave with a car or something. You know what I mean? That's the type of wedding they look. Everybody get Sarah's information. You might walk away with a car if you go to their wedding. They're like Oprah and Stedman over here.
But the point is, it's worth it to invest in some of these, depending if you trust them and you get some background info. So.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. And a lot of our podcasts and the consensus where a lot of our folks is just invest in yourself. A lot of the entrepreneurs we've spoken to, they say, invest in yourself first and foremost. So if you want to pay for a channel, there's a few things down here that we've listed. So Antoine, you got something for me? We almost done, got a few minutes. But just gonna ping a couple of people. You got any stock plays? Doesn't have to be cannabis related, but you had some good ones last time. What else you looking into now?
Man, to be honest, I'm want to get back into dividend stock. So I told y'all last time about O. That's the ticker symbol for Realty Income, and it was similar to the IIPR. Whoever said that, thank you. I had looked at the financials while we were doing this thing, and they have great financials. I want to look at the 10K and the 8K, but like it'll look awesome so far. But yeah, so I got into I got more shares of Realty Income, so I can start seeing those dividends come in, and then also for AT&T, they did the same thing. My next move is going to probably be Apple. I've been seeing a lot of stuff that they're doing inside of the market, and then also, man, just really just riding with everything else I got, man. Boeing, it's a whole lot of red in these streets right now, so stuff is on sale, but I'm not wanting to just hop on and stuff. I do a lot of research before I hop into anything, because like really everything is long term. So really just those two, man. The O for the Realty Income, so I can get those dividends, and then also AT&T. Nothing big over here. There's a whole lot of studying, bro.
Okay, awesome. I just put another one in the chat. Genius. I don't know if anybody's been on Genius yet or have heard of that company.
My bad, real quick before you talk about them, bro. That's man. Unless like that's a spec play, bro. Have you seen their stuff? They get worse every year. They do dividend. They do like shares. They like give out more shares. So they just dilute all the time. Like that big run y'all saw at the beginning of the week or last week. That was just people like really on Robinhood or retail investors hopping into it because they saw that it was a low stock. Like I'm in a whole lot of groups on Facebook, and people were just hopping into it because they saw the price go up. But when you look at the financials of the company, even when they're coming out with that new like that cartoon channel they coming out with, that's supposed to be that
on Monday.
Yeah, so they go about to, they're gonna do that, but for real, it's a garbage plan. If you look at it even before then, everybody is just pumping money into it to get that quick rise, but I wouldn't say it's a good investment. But that's my personal opinion. As soon as I saw you put it, I had to say that at least because I wouldn't touch it.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I saw some what you call it research. We said that Genius has the potential to be at least 25 times bigger than Netflix, but that'll be like down the line, not within this year, obviously. So I don't know. I just put some money into Genius and see how it unfolds. Yeah.
Personally, I would say like if you got in early when it was still like 80 cents, like I know some dudes that put in $1,700 and made 17 grand, and then they showed me the stuff. Then I seen other people that got in high when it hit 10 and they dropped down to 6, and now they looking like, oh, they hurt. You know what I mean? If you want to do something like that, it's a spec play. So stock shouldn't be something you just hop in. Like you wouldn't go and hop into a basketball game and you ain't never dribbled a basketball. You know what I mean? So get the fundamentals right. Like, to be honest with you, like if you think that they could be bigger than, Netflix or any of these other businesses that's in that same space, if it's a good company now, it's going to be a good company then. So don't rush to get in. I would wait until you see them actually do something before I start putting my money in personally, because if you get in, if you've been following them like this right now, you got a little bit of money in, wait a little bit longer until they actually start producing stuff and you see how that trend starts. Because the last thing I would hate for you to do is put more money in right now. They do another, they start issuing more shares, or they do something that's an adverse to what you think is going to happen. Because right now, it's all a guess.
Yeah. Okay. So I have one other thing to add. So, like right now, I've been looking at REITs, and I've seen one that is called Washington Prime Group. The ticker is WPG, and I believe it's currently selling for below $1. So, yeah. So I've been looking at it and think it has the potential to rise way above $1, like within the next probably few weeks or the next few months. So I think it's something that we can keep an eye on.
What makes you think that? When you say that, and is the financials behind it, or just kind of what they invest in, what they own?
Oh yeah, because WPG they invest mostly in retail. So, and we know like so many economies have been reopening for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and many more economies are going to reopen within the coming few weeks. So I believe that as more business picks up, then their stock price is going to rise as well, because those who kind of renting will be able to afford their leases, which will be of benefit to the WPG. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways and strategies. I think we all evaluate things. Obviously, the best thing you can do is jump in if you can. But obviously, it's easier to jump in products that you know and that you already wear or use on your phone. Those things, and continue to grow your education from there. Sometimes, Twan, it's just a play, right? It's just I have an extra $20 and I was going to do that or go buy some Hennessy, you know what I mean? So I don't be stereotypical, but Hennessy is delicious to some people. But you might make a play like that too, where it's just like, hey, I was going to waste it anyway. So I think it just all depends, but you should get to a point where you're comfortable doing that. And I tell anybody, put in what you're willing to lose. If you're more risk averse, then you should keep that in mind. But if you're not, then you should go for it. But also always put in what you're willing to lose, because you can't lose it, right? But Blueberry, was it Blueberry, Blackberry?
Yep,
Blackberry.
Yep.
What's another company? JCPenney. JCPenney. We were just talking about JCPenney a couple of talks ago, and I don't even think they're on the NASDAQ anymore. So, it could go either way. But I mean, if it just depends. So.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us, yeah, Toys R Us. So, it can go a lot of different ways. So, you go from there.
Brian, I'm glad you said that, because Antoine, I like what Antoine said about believing in the company, but I don't think this is a moral issue. To me, it's a money issue, and I won't pretend to be the biggest stock. As you guys know, I started 45 days ago when we had this last call, and Antoine, I'm buying Genius today. So it's really simple. I like to think of, and I don't believe in the company. To be honest, I don't know anything about the company, but I told you what my sister did, and she told me she bought it. So I'm doing what she does. And it's quite simple. Like, I like to think, if you don't know the rules of the game, then don't play the game. So if no one is saying put your retirement in, this is not my 401k, it's not my IRA, but if I was gonna buy a pair of sneakers, Brian, for $50, I'd rather put $50 into Genius and lose it all than buy a pair of sneakers. I'm by no means a consumer, and I'm definitely not a spender. So if I'm gonna buy something, I'd buy a stock. At least the stock has the chance to go up. Those sneakers will never gain value. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I did. I'm not. So just for everybody on here, I'm pretty sure Brian and Jaden know me. I come across pretty blunt. I mean, but that's just my personality. It's not nothing in terms of saying that's what y'all should do. So like when I said, that was just my take on it. And even to say like, hey, if you would have spent that $50 on some shoes, I'm pretty sure that you would make sure they wasn't the shoes you buy and the soles fall off. You know what I mean? Like, because you could like do something earlier, how they said you can buy fractional shares depending on how you got your money set up. So it also goes to what kind of investor you are. So we just got different styles. You know what I mean? So all means, I would say, man, if you're going to hop into it, man, I wish you the best. I don't want anybody to lose their bread, but this person, that's what I wouldn't do. So I would at least let y'all know, so that I can at least feel safe. Like, hey, look, I put it out there, but at the end of the day, it's your bread. I hope you the best with whatever your move on is. You feel me?
So the question would be, do you have a long-term or short-term strategy? If you think Genius will be $15 in a week and you want to be in there for a week, then by all means jump in. And if it's really a long-term play, then yes, I think, Antoine, your strategy is perfect for people who want to be in something long-term. If the company's quality, has great leadership, has a great product, and you can actually see a future, then yes, I think that would be perfect for like a long-term strategy. And by all means, get your and your bank stocks and whatever it is that really have a long-term. What I'd like to learn personally, I hear a lot of people talking about dividend, and I don't really think about dividend when I choose stocks. So if someone who's more experienced here would tell me, why should I look for stocks that actually pay dividends, or what is that going to do for me? Is it lucrative? Is it not? I'd love to learn that if anyone wants to share.
Good question.
Dividends are free money, basically.
Yeah, so you invest into the company, and then they give you a portion of their revenue or the profits. It's kind of like, hey, by you giving us this money, we gonna break you off, and they can do that on a quarterly, or like the one I told you about, Realty, they do it monthly. So the goal is, my goal, remember my goal is my baby crying in the background. They was back there wrestling. I'm sorry.
Pick up the baby, man. Give the baby some attention, man. Pick up the baby.
Here, they spilling cinnamon rolls and everything else, man. It's no love over here. It's war. But but no. So my perspective on like dividends is I try to look at the percentage that I'm gonna be getting back, whether it's monthly or quarterly, and then buy enough shares to where my investment purchases me a free share at the end of the year. So if I know that I can get 100 shares of this stock, and at the end of the year, all those dividends I get are going to equate at least to one stock free. That's good. It's like it's reinvesting itself. You know what I mean? Especially if you got something like a drip going on, it's automatically going to reinvest whatever money you make, including your dividends, back into that stock, which is going to help your money compound a lot faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, just to add in too, that different stocks have varying levels of dividends too. So sometimes you might have a stock that maybe doesn't have as much growth, like a Nestle, that gives you a real high dividend, opposed to maybe a stock that does really well where the dividend isn't as high. So it also depends, on the stock as well in terms of what kind of dividend you're getting.
So before I buy it, how do I know if the dividend is high or not?
You need to do your research. Go to Yahoo, look at the summary. It'll tell you right there what the dividend yield is or the percentage. You can go to like the website I posted last time. FinViz is awesome. It'll let you know what the dividend is. But yeah, once you actually take a look at the financials, you'll see all that information listed on the page.
I mean, you could also look up dividend champions, and these are usually companies that have paid dividends consistently over the last 25 years. Without a break in paying dividends. So it's usually listed on, on one of these websites that has it.
Yeah, there we go. I'll call on my brother Shell. I'm sorry, who chimed in?
I was going to say, just to chime in about the dividends, also with that, you can also kind of play a long game with some companies' dividends. Like they said before, it's definitely good to do your research. But there are companies such as, what is the name of that company? I think it's like Innovative Industries or something like. Someone listed it in the chat. IIPR. They actually, over the course of like maybe 2 or 3 years, increased the amount of dividends that they started to give out. I think they started at like maybe 45 cents on how much dividends they paid per share, and they went up to almost as much as $1 this year. So that's another thing to take consideration when you're looking up companies as far as like a dividend. And if you're going to do it like a drip where you could put it back into yourself, or if you're trying to make an actual profit off your stock shares.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for chiming in too. We've seen you over there being quiet.
Sorry, I'm a little bit shy. I'm here to learn with everybody else too.
Nice. Is that your sister, Emeka? Is that your sister, Emeka?
Everyone's my sister.
Oh, there you go. That's right. That's right.
Oh, she's not my sister.
Black Lives
So.
Matter.
And I are a lot closer than some of
But
you.
yeah, shout out to Emeka for like putting it out so I could come in here, because I was just like, I definitely almost forgot that Emeka sent it, and I was like, oh, you know what? While I'm sitting here like not doing nothing constructive with my time, let me go ahead and hop in on this Zoom real quick and learn some things.
Oh, she's my sister. What? She's my sister from another mother.
Yeah, Emeka and Emeka should just say it, yes. While we're all sisters here, she, I, and Emeka would not just be from the same country, but the same tribe. So yeah, we're sisters.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Welcome. That's what we talk about, man. We're growing. The support, we're growing in all levels, right? So, I'll tap back into you.
Yeah, so it will be very surprising if Gino grows to like $50 in 2 weeks' time. I'll be doing like cartwheels in my room.
Here we go. All right, we almost out. I'm gonna call my brother Michelle again, or more. I call him. What stock you looking at, man?
Man, as of today, you guys are talking about cannabis?
Yeah, we're talking cannabis. You can give us one cannabis and maybe give us another hot stock you've been on.
Okay. Well, a lot of times I judge off the market. Everybody's a little different. For me, a lot of times I wait till stuff's at a low point before I'm really going to bite on it, unless it's something that I'm just aggressively trying to target. So Scott's Miracle Grow is actually something I've been targeting in the cannabis industry because they use that a lot in terms of like hydro. I don't want to say the word wrong, but just in terms of how they grow a lot of the weed and whatnot. So I've been looking at that stock for a cool second and waiting for it to be on its low point in terms of, you know, in the month or in a week. So yeah, I just actually jumped in on a few of those stocks as of today and yesterday because it kind of went to like 130, which is pretty low for that stock. So that's something that I've been looking at because I know long term that'll probably be something real good to invest in. I don't know if anybody else kind of familiar with that? Familiar with that stock?
Yeah, I am. I had been tracking them for a minute now, actually. I think that when they were like under $100, so it was like a year or so ago. But yeah, they pop up a lot. Obviously, they're a U.S. company. They do fertilizer. You know, in the cannabis industry, that's important. You know, so they're one of our strongest fertilizer producers. So I mean, it's a good company because not only are they in cannabis, but they serve multiple industries, right? Nurseries. So I think that's a good solid stock to invest in if you're trying to get your, you know, something consistent. So,
something else I've been looking at too, just a lot of the stocks that are right now vying for the vaccination for Corona. So right now you have like Moderna. You also have Johnson & Johnson, and I can't remember the other 2 or 3, but those are the 2 that I'm invested in right now. I jumped in on Moderna like early when it was like $30, and now it's like 61. You did? Okay. So you feeling like me? You feeling real good, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been like since March. I've been like researching potential COVID-19 vaccines. Like I was almost doing that almost every day. I was like, I must make some quick buck. Yeah, and I was glad I got into Moderna like very early, and I also got into Inovio as well. So.
I almost invested in biotech, but I'm glad I didn't because they didn't even end up getting selected as one of the companies for the vaccination.
I know, right? I was like, I dodged the bullet. It have been a waste of money. Yeah.
With Johnson & Johnson, I wish I would have got in earlier on Johnson & Johnson because I didn't realize that they were even going to have a shot at the vaccine. But I feel like I got in at a decent point. I mean, it's like almost 140 now, so I feel like it's not too high. The 52-week high is what? Actually, that is a little high. The 52-week high is 157, and I got in at 140. But yeah, like I said, I feel like there's room for it to grow, though.
Yeah.
Definitely feel like there's room for it to grow.
Is anyone invested in Dogecoin?
Oh, we going crypto, man. We going crypto, man. We're gonna have to go another talk for that, man. We have to go another talk for that.
No problem. Just saying it out loud.
Any topics that you guys want to cover? Any industries that you guys want to talk about next time? Any suggestions? I know we've covered technology. We can always go back to that. We've done travel. I think we did retail. I think we're probably going to do finances, so we can talk about banking. So we can hit B.E.L.L, Visa, you know, Morgan Stanley, all the big banks.
Why not?
What about stocks? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was saying, what about entertainment? Since Warner Brothers just went public.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We can do entertainment. I like entertainment.
Yeah.
Medicine, probably. Obviously, with the whole COVID, you know, medical companies, technology, that might be a good one. It's kind of relevant.
Maybe even just like different types of stocks, like stocks versus investment funds or ETFs and all that, just so people can understand the differences.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah,
also, stocks that are like good for the even though I'm more of a long-term investor, like stocks that are good for short-term investment during the Corona period, things that are related to investment as it relates to Corona, because I got a nice little group of stocks that usually I don't do the quick flip. What you say, Bridget?
Like you can look into like telemedicine stock. Like conference meeting stocks like Zoom, whatever. Yeah. So.
Even 3MM, the ones who make, 3MM, the people who make the mask. The
Yeah.
N95 mask.
Yeah.
Shoot, I invested in, but I ended up selling it because it went down. But that's another stock I've been looking at. Like,
Yeah.
everything related to Corona. I'm looking at Clorox. I just bought a Clorox the other day, but then it went down, and I'm at work during the day, so if it goes down too much, then it automatically sells, so I don't lose money. But
Yeah, I've also been looking at 5G. So there's this San Diego company called Inseego. The ticker is INSG. I think their stock price right now is like $11. Yeah, but why I'm interested in them is because they have contracts with Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint,
what's the stock
and
symbol,
AT&T.
Reggie?
Oh, INSG.
I put it in the chat. Is that it right? IMSG?
No, IN as in Nancy.
Oh, okay. INSG.
Yeah.
And obviously there's Illumia. You're talking about San Diego.
Yeah, correct.
Big.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, they have contracts with the top telecoms providers to provide like 5G chips to their soon to be rolled out 5G phones, basically. Yeah, and also because there are like 300 million of us in this country. I mean, the market is like overwhelming.
Yeah, some good little last minute hitters there. I've been looking at like actually firearms, so Ruger and Smith and Wesson. They've been going up. Obviously, what's going on right now? People are bearing arms and doing different things. I put in an option on a Smith and Wesson and did a 2x on that from last week to this week. So just playing the emotions of the economy as well. So, Shell, tell me about some of the other stocks you got. I was really impressed with your portfolio. I think you have a really good portfolio when you talk about getting started. You're reeling off some of the stocks to me. So, and you tell me it's a lot of things you believe in and you invest in. So why don't you reel off some of those kind of like baseline stocks that you have, and we'll kind of wrap up with that.
For sure. So I think the brethren, I think his name was Antoine. My apologies if I don't say his name right, but I'm similar to him though. I believe in like long-term investing. I believe in investing in companies that that I believe in, that I have information about, that I'm kind of aware of. If something happens to the company and they might take a dip, I'll be aware of it. Not only that, I kind of know about their products on a personal level. So typically, I always try to invest in things that I'm, like I said, that I either personally use or something that I'm more so aware of. So when I first kind of started investing, like maybe 5 years ago, I was more so looking for companies that had a lot of household goods that I know weren't going anywhere. Things like Coca-Cola, things like Pepsi, things like Procter & Gamble, things like Nestle, companies like that. I kind of like started out my portfolio with. And then from there, I try to like build on that with like some more, I guess you would say more stocks like in technology, like PayPal. What's something else that I invested in technology? Apple, obviously, and stocks like that. So I really try to like diversify my portfolio, but I really try to stay within brands that I'm familiar with and brands that I personally believe in. I got Visa, McDonald's, Microsoft, PayPal, Beyond Meat. I've been going vegan for the last year or two, so definitely been definitely invested in Beyond Meat. What else here? I just bought those two today, so I'm not gonna mention it. But Pepsi, Toyota, Walmart, Disney, Procter & Gamble. I got a lot of Procter & Gamble. Got a lot of Nestle. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of my portfolio because those are products that aren't going anywhere. Febreze, soft soap, Tide, Gain, Colgate. These are products that we have to use in order to live. So I really believe in those kind of companies. Colgate, that's another one I have a lot of stocks in. Also video games, we came up playing video games, So I could definitely have Microsoft, I have Sony, and I also own GameStop. Nintendo, own Nintendo too. So yeah, I just try to target just certain industries. The way we were just talking about like companies as it related to Corona, I'll just create like a list of just companies within that. Then I'll just try to, again, just nail them, try to get at least one stock in each category, or within each category, I try to get One of each stock is what I'm trying to say. My bad. But yeah, man. I mean, that's just some of the stocks I got, and that's kind of like my philosophy that I had in getting them.
I can't. Oh, so Emeka, I got a quick hitter for you. Since you say you want to get in and out. So I know last time I told you about Nicola, pre-merger when it's VTIQ. So this is another opportunity. It's a company. The ticker symbol is FMCI. And it's Forum Origin too. They're a holding company. Y'all really was in the same spot. My bad, you just messed me up. You messed me up, man. I'm like, I thought I was tripping. You just stopped the whole episode. But all right, look. So, man,
hey, look, I'm on free. My phone, my computer died or something. So look,
I know, man. Don't do that. I watch too many scary movies, man.
Y'all didn't know about me, huh? Yeah, I found my secret up.
This dude a ninja. But look, so you said that you invested in Beyond Meat, and I know that once they, got their momentum, they shot all the way up. And a lot of people, some people, they like, I don't want to spend that dollar to get into them. So there's a company, the ticker symbol is FMCI, and they're in talks right now to be merging or acquiring another, basically non-meat meat product, like a Beyond Meat. And a lot of people think it's going to be
Forum merger too.
Yeah. A lot of people think that the people that they're going to merge with is going to be Impossible, and Impossible has a large market share. They actually have more than Beyond Meat. So if y'all want to start following some early, I would say y'all can start looking at that and seeing what kind of articles come out and things that pop up like on CNBC, because that might be an opportunity, especially if it is that hitter. Emeka, that might be that one to throw a little $14 in and see it blow up overnight. Not telling you what to do, just
that's really solid news, especially with the meat shortages going on right now. So, and to be quite honest, I really think it's all short term because, while we'll be eating food a long time, these companies will not have momentum for the long time. So that's why my stocks is definitely my short term strategy. I have all the 401k and the IRAs and all that conservative stuff. So yeah, stock, yeah. Thank you, Antoine. I'm buying tonight. The Dow went down 6%. I'm buying tonight.
Buy today.
Jump. Let's see if we can get a jump tomorrow. Matter of fact, where's my Robin Hood, man? Buying tonight.
Hey, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, brother. I'm on it right now.
Sister Larice, I see you on the call. She is a mother to me, a mentor. Do you have any questions? Anything you wanted to chime in? For terms of stock, do you have any questions, comments?
First of all, since it's my first see what you guys were doing and what everything was all about. And so that's basically why I'm on the call now. Of course, you're talking about buying a whole lot of stock, and they're individual stock, and the stock that I own is all grouped together. And so that's basically how I do it. And the other thing is that I don't hear too much about people talking about their company stock plan. I think Kevin hit on it a little bit with one of the company's writer. But if you have a stock plan within your company and they're giving you free money after you're there 5 years, most companies, you're into their pension plan. But I know companies like HP, they stopped all the pension plans. So I may, quote unquote, my money by investing in the stock what the company had, and then you can put up to about $18,000 per year in that stock, and I think they match it. With government regulations and all that, you can put up to about $18,000 per year. So you should look into all of that and see what your company offers you if you're not working for yourself.
All right, then you're not on mute. You got a comment? You want? Or the baby touched the phone. Look, the baby done got the phone. Okay, well, with that said, I think we'll wrap it up. I know folks have their evenings. We appreciate you joining the call. I have a copy of the recording. I've been putting them out on YouTube. So if you guys want to go back and see the old videos, the old topics, they're on YouTube. I know most of you guys, but if you need the link, you can text the text message that you got. What's that? Somebody mentioned. But it's on YouTube. You can look up Stock Talk or Brian Ware under my name. You can subscribe to the page, and we have some of the videos up there. Jayden's putting the text number in there. If you guys want a link to the video, we can send you a link to it, or you know, check it out on YouTube. Feel free to share it. Invite some more people. We got some topics, so it'll probably either be finance and maybe entertainment. That was a good comment, Kev. So, you know, we'll keep hitting the rounds. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to, you know, call out everybody individually, but feel free to speak up too. It's equal opportunity. But a lot of jewels on here. So yeah, check it out. I see some good calls in here, some vivid, man. It's a lot of good information. So go forth and be great and make some good money, y'all. And hit us up if you got any questions, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Got a couple claps.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Thanks for organizing.
Thank you so much. That's enlightening.
Y'all
definitely. Thank
owe
you.
me. All y'all rich in here. Apparently, everybody got $1,000 portfolios. All y'all got all the stocks. Good.
Singular $1,000.
Thousands.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
We gotta start somewhere. But yeah, it's definitely a good time. You either jump in now and catch a wave, or you wait. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Just think start with your own personal, you know, feelings. Are you ready to put $1,000 out there and wait for a while and you know, a year or so, or do you want put $1,000 and you want 500 back, you know, and that's going to help kind of, you know, guide your strategy and where you want to go. So, you know, there's a lot of
that retirement portfolio thing was an interesting one. Because, you know, that's what I got into it for, was thinking ahead, because I didn't want to work forever. And, I wanted to retire. So.
Yeah, I'm liking too. In some of your 401ks, like the company ones, there you have an option to even invest on your own too. I'm starting to understand as I actually read the paperwork and stuff like that. They have brokerage accounts that you can, you know, trade stocks and do all that as well.
Yeah,
too.
and that's what I do with mine. I'm with Qualcomm, so
yeah,
through Fidelity. Plus, I take that Qualcomm stock that they just throw at me. A couple times a year. I dump it and reinvest it in the stuff that I want to invest in.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm mad I missed that Qualcomm dip after they went through that Apple battle and it dropped to like $50 or $55 or something. And I was like, it's gonna go back up. Like, obviously I'm here in San Diego too, so I know about Qualcomm's patents and all the other things that they get money from. So I was like, they're gonna be okay.
About $20 per phone sold globally.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't, you know, they think just they only make Apple chips and they used to have a phone, but they are pretty, you know, giving streams of income they're getting from a lot of areas.
Yes.
It's all good. Kevin, Sasha, Abby, what's going on? I didn't get a chance to call on y'all. Adrian, Abdi.
Oh, you good, man?
Yeah, y'all can jump.
I'm just learning, man. I just got in the stock market like a few weeks ago, so it's great information y'all sharing here.
Appreciate it, Abdi. That's Abdi, my SDSU brother.
Just been listening in, really.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions as we wrap up? Anything you can think of? Any statements?
The only thing I know y'all was talking about dividends. I don't know how much kind of is being invested or money's being made, but just there's two types of dividends. There's qualified dividends and ordinary dividends. And qualified dividends are more tax advantage for individuals. So depending on how much money they're actually making, they could actually hit them in their pocket when it comes tax time. So just to be aware of that. You have to hold the stock for typically longer than 60 days, the individual shares. And not all dividends are qualified dividends. It kind of gets a little involved, but that's about it. Only thing I was going to share in addition to that.
Appreciate that. Abby, what's going on with you, man?
I'm kicking it right now. I actually have an internship right now, so I've been a little busy. I missed the last couple of meetings, but I actually got into a couple stocks recently. I just decided, like, let's do it because I know Sony's coming out with the new PlayStation. They just announced it today, actually. So I got in on Sony. I got in on Nike and Twitter, but all of them dipped. I don't know what happened. I don't even know what happened. But everything else, I just saw dollars just getting pulled away from me, and I was a little nervous.
Hey, welcome to the game, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not gonna trip out about it too early right now because I know things will change, but it was just a little scary.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah,
Stick
I've
with
been
it,
good
man.
though. Yep, definitely.
Yeah. What's going on, Sasha? How you doing over there, sister?
We are we're trying to keep little ones occupied in here, but I'm on the call primarily to learn. Haven't even started yet, still in the research phase. Very holding on to my coin as tight as possible, ready to make the dip, but and to do some trading, but wanting to get as much information as possible before I jump in knowing how to swim.
Mommy, look.
Appreciate it.
I would say
Hopefully, what's that?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, because she was like,
Was
she's
that a
still
bit?
learning. I would say for the folks who are like learning, haven't really jumped into it yet, or like maybe only been investing for like 2 days, something like that. So I went to school for economics and business, and in my primary business class, they had us go to this website called the Stock Market Game. So there, it moves like the actual stock market, and it gives you astronomical amount to like begin invested in, which is not realistic, but it is good to use that to get a feel of how it feels to trade every day or to watch markets, because it follows the actual market, but you invest in fake money. So that way, for people who are like a bit on the apprehensive side about just jumping right in, that might be a good way to kind of get your feet wet before going all the way in.
And you said that was the stock market EA?
The stockmarketgame.com is like a little website.
Okay. Yeah, the paper accounts. The apps. There's a couple of apps out there too, but those are good. I do that too. I still have a couple of, like, every once in a while I'll like go in and do the paper accounts or the stock, something similar. I do mine through Investopedia, and I'll just get in and just kind of play some stocks. They usually give you, like, a lot of those games, they give you like $100,000 or $200,000. So it's a good way to test options, to test stocks, to short stocks, and, learn about that. So the stock market game, we put it in here in the comments. And maybe that might be something we can do here. Maybe we start our own little stock talk game and really see who's really got the juice in here. I think that's something we might bring in and add a little twist to the next call or something. Let's put our money where our mouth, our figurative money. So I see you on here, Chris. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? I know I didn't get a chance to call on you, but you still on? Let's see if we got him on. Try to see if we take him off mute. Oh, he can't even get. Wait,
there we go.
We got you off mute.
There, does that work?
I think you got to try it. But anyway, that's one of my brothers here. He was started one of the stock talks with us there. What else we got in here? Adrian. What's going on, Adrian?
What's going on, Brian? How you doing?
I'm good. You still learning, man? You haven't jumped in or what?
Yeah, actually, I talked to Jay earlier this week, and he, I don't know, he inspired me to put in a little more money in my account. So I was playing with a couple hundred. Now I bit the bullet and I put in 1,000 this week, and on Thursday I did a quick day trade, made like $10.
It's a good feeling.
But it's something. Yeah.
It's a good feeling. It's a good
I
feeling.
think my mic was messing up. This my bad for cut you off.
Oh, okay. Oh, you back in there? Yeah. What's up, Ed? What you got, man? What you been looking at?
I honestly ain't been messing with the stocks for like the last 2 weeks. I just moved to LA, so I took my money out so I could be able to pay some rent.
Mm.
The next couple months.
You
Yeah, I just
went
got
to the
the
most
new
expensive
job.
place.
Yeah, man. I had to.
Congrats.
Yeah, man. Thank you. But no. I had something to say. Oh yeah, based on the stocks, it was a stock that I told y'all about last week. It was a SCON. When I spoke with y'all, it was at like 35. It's currently sitting at 50 cents now, and it's projected to go up like another 20% if you're not like recharge and stuff. So y'all might just want to keep that.
Okay. Where you reading charts at? What are you using to read your charts and do that?
I just been following like this YouTube page and this Facebook page. The dude named Ricky Gutierrez, and he be giving his own advice. He lets people watch him actually buy stocks and operate and do stuff throughout his time. In the morning when he be looking at stocks or whatever. So I just be copying what he doing, looking at the stuff that he does, and like basically how the lines fluctuate. I kind of just go off of that, and yeah, I just recharge the way that he recharges.
What's the name of it again?
His name is Ricky Gutierrez.
Okay.
I gotta go on Facebook to look him up. Yeah.
Okay. It's all good.
But yeah, I just wanted to get on.
Okay.
My bad for cutting the other brother off.
No, it's all good. I think we're all good. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go on and finish my dinner and my evening too. But I appreciate everybody taking their time. We'll come back with either entertainment or finance or maybe a mix of both. Now I'm looking to getting the stock game going, and so you pay attention to that text message that you guys get. It's from like a 951 number.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how we can kind of get out to everybody quickly, get the information out. So well, obviously you guys are already in the chat, so you have the invite. But yeah, all right, y'all have a good evening. Holler at us. Y'all know either me or Jay most likely, on Instagram. You guys can get with us if you have any questions. I know I talk to everybody. I talk to Rylan all the time about what she's doing, and we share information. And so yeah, let's all keep the information going. Let's keep the tribal knowledge going.
Yep. And feel free to to tell people like, hey, we're doing these stock talks. So there's a lot of information out there, and as long as we keep sharing it amongst each other, we'll be all right. So just remember to know that, and share the wealth and knowledge, and we're all gonna be multimillionaires. All right. Yes, sir.
I receive.
Here we go. Exactly. Receive it. Kiss that baby for me.
Sure will. Thank you, guys.
All right, y'all. All right, thanks. Thanks, everybody. Shell, everybody. Mecca's.
Where?
Yeah. All right, bro.